Good morning, Wall Street winners. It is Wednesday, January 15th, and man, we are off to an incredible start to the day. We have had some great news across the board on multiple fronts. If we take a look at the Bloomberg app, you can see that the CPI data, the Consumer Price Index data, which helps to gauge inflation, came in weaker than expected, meaning that inflation is cooling more than it is heating up. So we're seeing a reduction in prices, a slight drop, not huge, but a slight drop in prices. And that's what we wanted to see. It's what the Federal Reserve has been wanting to see with their move in interest rates, trying to get that back to their gauge or their 2% baseline is what they're trying to achieve year over year. Whether that materializes or not remains to be seen, but that's kind of where their goal is and their objective. So that's helping the markets. Then we had Goldman and the banks come out with their profits today. Goldman profit doubled, and the stock is soaring right now. So traders have been doing very well at Goldman. The investment bank is firing on all cylinders. Um, Citi announced this morning. I haven't taken a look at those results. JP Morgan, I believe, has done pretty well, notching a record fourth quarter. So that sounds like a very positive. Anyway, the markets overall are up fairly significantly. If we look, we're only 20 minutes out, 19 minutes out, but if we take a look, the Dow Jones, I think it's up higher than this based on what I'm seeing on the Bloomberg television, but maybe the app is slightly delayed. We've got the Dow Jones up 683 points. Over 1.5%. The same for the S&P, over 1.5%, up 89, and the Nasdaq up 1.7%, which is 369, 370 points. So the markets are looking like they're going to be off to a great start today. I hope you bought in to some Goldman or some JP Morgan, as I had been recommending earlier in the week and heading into earnings season, because, for example, Goldman last week dropped to 560. It touched down to 559 at one point. And if you got in there, you would have done very well this week because closed yesterday at 571 and a half. It's up 22, almost $23 pre-market. Morgan Stanley up, which didn't announce today, is up $4, just carried by the overall lift in the markets. So let's start at the bottom today with financials, and we'll work our way to the top. So you can see Goldman way up today, $23. We'll see where that peaks and whether it gets to the 600. I was calling for it to be $650 stock by the end of January. I'm not sure it's going to get there at this point, but I do believe it'll get into the low 600s. And I do believe that based on the momentum we're seeing and everything we're hearing, it's going to continue to do well this year, as will Morgan Stanley from what we're seeing. JP Morgan, not as much, but still up, almost three and a half, over $3.50 there. And then the rest of the financials carried as well, even those that aren't reporting. So Jeffrey's up $2.50, Raymond James up four and a quarter, Visa up $5. SoFi up 81 cents. That's a huge move for SoFi. So hopefully, I was talking about SoFi earlier in the week. Hopefully, you got into some SoFi and you're seeing that stock take off for you as well. Now we get into tech. Tech is doing well at the same time. So it's not as though finance is up and tech is down. Tech is catching a bid as well. We've got Adobe up $7. You've got TSM not really doing a lot there. So that's a bit of a surprise, only up $1. Google up 3, but still has a way to go in my mind with Google. Meta up 12. So that's a good one. I talked about that one yesterday, saying it was on sale in a short that I released midday and recommended getting into that. It dropped down to 590. You're up $12 on that today. And if you got in at 590, you're up an additional four and a quarter. So then we've got Lam Research up. We've got Workday is up almost $5. AMD up a buck and a half. So still fairly low overall with everything going on in the semi space. ARM up almost $3. Microsoft up $5. So getting back to that 420 point if it opens there. And then your cybersecurity stocks. So net looks like it's catching a bit upwards, a buck 60. Palo Alto up 360. And then your other one, CrowdStrike, up $7. So those are moving forward. Micron looks like it might get across the $100 mark today, back up above 100. And then Nvidia, we didn't really mention below, but it is up. It just isn't up significantly. It's up $2. So that is moving forward as well. But a bit of a drag on Nvidia right now. So maybe a good opportunity to get in because people are feeling as though they may be looking at opportunities in different stocks. And I think it's been more of a seller's play than a buyer's, sorry, more of a buyer's play than a seller's play in NVIDIA. People are looking to get out, take their profits, as opposed to get in for fear that the returns won't be as great. Crude is up today, 91 cents. So that looks like it should be a pretty positive day for crude. Although, with crude up $1 and then seeing the movement in some of the crude stocks, I think there's a lot more room for these to move. So we saw this the other day where pre-market crude was up almost $3 and Valero was only up 28 or 30 cents in the pre-market, but then it shot up $3 or $4 at the open. So let's keep an eye out on oil for a bigger move from the oil refining stocks there. And those do announce towards the end of the month. And I do expect that the earnings will be quite good from those companies. So we'll have to wait and see what comes out there. Then we get into healthcare. Healthcare had a pretty bad day yesterday, but bouncing back, definitely making back in the case of Humana what it was down yesterday in the pre-market. And then we get into Home Depot. Look at that. Home Depot is up over 400 if those pre-market numbers stick at 11, a bump of 1125. That's a huge move for Home Depot right there. Maybe on the fact that CPI came in lower and the cost of goods is dropping down a little bit. That with interest rates or mortgage rates staying where they are may actually help the consumer make decisions to do more around the house and do it through those home improvement stores like Home Depot. Lulu up as well. It's still not really breaking through that $400 range. So it's gotten up above 400 and it's come down. It's kind of living in the 380s right now. Looks like it's going to get into the 390s today, but it is having a hard time breaking out past the 400 mark. And then you got Costco, and this was a month ago. This was $1,000, $1,010, $20 stock. It is now down to 917. It was down 7 yesterday. It looks like it's up 7 in the pre-market. So kind of fluctuating within a range there. But I do believe that when we get earnings out, this thing's going to pop. And I think it's at a bit of a discount right now, especially knowing that it's been up in the $1,000 range as early as last month. But Costco earnings don't come out for some time now. It's towards the end of the quarter of the release cycle. So where are we today? The markets are up. It's a great time to just get in early and then watch that stock appreciate in value and sell and take your profits. It's a quick entry and a quick exit today. Use the momentum as a way to achieve some profit in your portfolio, but take those profits because there's nothing to say that this is going to be there tomorrow or that they're going to continue to go up. They may correct and come back, and other stocks may go up tomorrow that maybe aren't seeing the kind of movement that some of the others are seeing today. So look for those that have some value. And if there isn't, you don't have to buy. So sit on the sidelines. Don't get into a trade that you're not confident is going to go anywhere. Just sit on the sidelines and wait until there's an opportunity because there is always an opportunity just around the corner that will materialize into something that turns into a profit. So that's the advice for the day. Good luck with your trades. And if you're liking these videos, hit the like and subscribe.